Listen, free agency has ensued, and the Charlotte Hornets, how they have made their move, and it is for Mason Plumlee, and it has left Charlotte Hornets fans puzzled all around the world. We're gonna break this all down, ladies and gentlemen. It's Flight Sports TV. You already know what it is. We got a lot of things to discuss involving the Charlotte Hornets today. The Charlotte Hornets, man, this is a crazy move. With all of the centers that was out there, they elected to go in a direction that they have went before. Um, I, Obviously, it's some negatives, but I will have one positive that I'm going to get to you. The Hornets have signed Mason Plumlee on a 1-year deal worth 3.6 million. Make sure you subscribe to Flight Sports for more news updates and more. Free agent center Mason Plumlee has agreed to a 1-year $3.6 million deal with Charlotte. Plumlee gives the Hornets some front court depth after they sent Mark Williams to the Suns in a draft night trade. Obviously, that brought over McNeely. We all know he's going to do some amazing things for Charlotte, being able to space the floor. We haven't had reliable floor spaces since Lamelo has been on this roster. Plumlee is 35 years old. He was brought in by Phoenix last season to help address their issues in the front court. He found himself starting 21 games as the Suns shuffled through different options at center throughout the year. Plumlee averaged 4.6 points, 8 rebounds per game as a starter, but was eventually replaced by Nick Richards, who Phoenix brought in from Charlotte via midseason trade. So it seems like Phoenix, Charlotte is some kind of trade comfort. These two teams, they engage and they get things done. Um, the only thing I could say about Mason Plumlee is it was a season that he was here. Um, he was here for one of the years where they went to the play-in with the Charlotte Hornets, and that was back in 2021-22. And if you recall that year of 2001-22, that's when the Charlotte Hornets went to the play-in. Lamelo Ball, um, Lamelo Ball, he put up, he had played 75 games. He averaged 20 points. He shot 42% from the field, 38% from three, and he was an all-star. So, I like what I see potentially, but also he was there for when they end up firing dude, and then they brought in um, Clifford. So after they let go of Borrego, who was the best coach they ever had, he was there for the situation of when everything was going downhill. So I say all of that to say is that Mason Plumlee knows what it looks like. He knows what um, the Charlotte Hornets look like when they are on their way to potentially the postseason. So let's hope that he could, bring some of that. But with these names, I would have loved to see DeAndre Ayton. I mean, they're not done yet. I mean, they got him for the cheap, but I would have loved to see something like that. What do you think about maybe a Kevon Looney from Golden State? Just something different, in my humble opinion, because you know what you're going to get from Mason Plumlee. A lot of people, like I said, joked, called him Bumley, but he's 6'10". You got that rookie with them. I forgot his name. Calbrina, pardon me. You don't want to throw him out there, into the fire right away. You want to have a veteran in there who can hold it down. But I'm telling you, we are underestimating Musa. I know that it looks like it's a glaring hole at center, but don't sleep what we got from Diabate last year. I think he's ready to take the next step. They re-signed him. They end up signing him to a contract. So they have plans for this kid. So let's see what, everything comes into fruition. I'm not ready to write them off because they didn't make a home run at center in free agency. I really think that Diabate is going to do something for them, and I think they're holding faith on that. And Plumlee and these guys, I think they're just going to add to the depth, that they have at that position. It's going to be interesting to see how Charles Lee mix and matches these rosters. And it's a long season. Who's to say that they don't get another center? Who's to say Cal Briner midway through the year he's not ready to take the mantle? Because, ladies and gentlemen, the kid they drafted in the second round, the 7'1" guy, he's gonna be the future at center. It's just getting a guy in here to acquiesce him to getting there. Um, let's see what happens. Bottom line is the Hornets got to make it to the postseason, the play-in at the very least. If they don't make it to the play-in, I mean, this is a downright failure, in my opinion, because of the roster that you have in place, and you bringing in Mason Plumlee, who was around for somewhat of the good times of Charlotte. He was there for the best season of Lamelo Ball's career. So I like that already, so let's see if we can get some of that back in rotation, man. Let's get the Charlotte Hornets where they rightfully should be. When you look at free agency, you got players going all over the place. This is not, I wouldn't say this is one of the bigger classes. I was just thinking about it not too long ago. We've had free agency classes where you had LeBron, KD, Melo, everybody from trickling down. So this is, I wouldn't say it's lackluster, but you don't have the star power, that you would. We talking about Giannis. Giannis is not a free agent; he's a trade. But that's the kind of fireworks we looking for around this time of year. So when we see guys like Nikhil going to Atlanta, and all the other people that went there and went here, it's just not. It's just not a blockbuster. But the Hornets, outside of this move, they have had a hell of an off season. They have done a lot. I'm not ready to check this move off that this is beautiful. I'm really watching this with a side eye. I'm scratching my head here. I'm confused because you had other people on the board. But I think what people are not thinking, and I'm going to close with this, you have Los Angeles out there. They haven't made a decision yet on who they're going to get at center. You have a lot of these centers, possibly like Ayton, he's holding out. Clint Capella, he went back to Houston. So that's the kind of people I wanted them to get: Ayton, Clint Capella. We still haven't heard word on Turner, so it's not over yet for Charlotte. But let's see what happens. Hopefully Charlotte can remain active and get them to the promised land. Keep cooking, Peterson. That's all I could say. It's the Charlotte Hornets, man. They're going to be back. Make sure you hit the like button. If you're new, most definitely hit the subscribe button. It's Flight Sports TV.